Gameston Show. Going Hard's Bay Bay. Register of Merit, Damn to Champion What a Day. Champion Gus. Champion Elrod. Champion Yellowbird. So pull up a seat and let's talk dogs. Let's talk about Pitbulls. The history of the breeding, the maintaining and feeding, and the controversies surrounding the great hunts. Come interact with the legends, and ask questions, and listen to their stories, and talk about kennels and dogs of the past and present. Hosted by one of the game's most respected kennels, with over 40 years on the hunt, going hard Kennels Twin 1 and Twin 2, dogs like Champion the Brat, the very first champion off Grand Champion Mayday, the Dog of the Year, and Register of Merit. Champion Pretty Mom, two-time Best in Show, two-time Gamest in Show. Going Hard's Bay Bay, Register of Merit, Damn to Champion What a Day, Champion Gus, Champion Elrod, Champion Yellowbird. So pull up a seat and let's talk dogs. Let's talk about Pitbulls. The history of the breeding, the maintaining and feeding, and the controversies surrounding the great hunts. Come interact with the legends, and ask questions, and listen to their stories, as we talk about kennels and dogs of the past and present.
Yes, sir.
Hosted by one of the game's most respected kennels, with over 40 years in the hunt, going hard Kennels Twin 1.
What's up? What's up, fellas? Another day going hard, Kennels Reloaded talk show. Hope everybody's having a good evening. We're going to get deep into some stuff. This is going to be a two-part thing because there's so much to cover. So we're going to cover light. Speaking of the day, hope everybody's in good terms with himself. Having a decent day. You gotta catch my breath here, y'all. Okay. That's what it is. Everybody let me know if you can hear me good. We don't want no cracks, we don't want no echoing. We want straight cooperation today. So, Mike's covering everything. We want to make sure everybody's sounding good out there, everybody. I want to make sure the same thing. So we can talk to citizens today. It's all about what we do to what we tear up and mess up. We gotta fix up. There's a couple things I want to go over with you guys before we get into this medical stuff here, okay? And I'm going to throw this disclaimer up there because we're going to be talking a little deep. All right, here's our disclaimer. The views here expressed in this post do not necessarily reflect those of myself nor the form owners, and shall be viewed strictly as entertainment and for the historical purposes only. I know the form owners either promote or condone any of the violations of the Animal Welfare Act of 1976 or any other local, state, or federal law. Again, this post shall be viewed strictly as entertainment and for the historical purposes only. Got that, fellas? So let's talk some historical entertainment purposes. Okay? What we're going to be discussing is fixing up what we tear up. And that's very important. But then there's some ground rules to this stuff. And these are some of the ground rules we're going to go over when it comes to you guys putting your hands on your toys and playing with your toys. I want to make sure you guys understand how to play with your toys. And when I say that, I say that not jokingly. I'm saying that truthfully. When you call or school, you must pay attention to what you're doing. Not just standing there watching for enjoyment or watching and getting so caught up in what you're watching that you're not paying attention to the things you need to be paying attention to. Remember over here, like going hard, I stress certain things that I do. I don't want to waste a needle, a scalpel, or any other thing that I have to do to clean up. And I didn't get the full impact of what I was out there to do. So that's the number one rule off the bat. Don't do nothing that you ain't prepared to deal with. That's number one. Number two, don't do nothing if you're not ready to get what you want out of it. That means as far as not just getting an opportunity, but you want to make sure that everybody understand what this is going to get ready to be here. You know, you should be touching, you should be grooming, you should be schooling, you should be even training yourself on how you handling your part. If you ain't got none of those things in order there, where you got an understanding prior to getting there to when you get there, then you're going to waste a whole bunch of time. You're going to have to be cleaning up a whole bunch of shit for nothing. You have to be set in your mind. Don't let yourself get there and let somebody else dictate your situation because you didn't got caught up in the moment. Because the only person that pays for that in the end is your animal. Your animal. So when you're schooling, you have to understand the concept of what you're trying to get out of school, and don't make it a waste of time. And that means too much time in schooling is a waste of time. You're schooling, not calling. So we have to understand that. Okay? And you're not just schooling with your animal, you're schooling with yourself. Pay attention to everything. Remember what I told you, this is not a game. You know, this has no rules, so you need to touch, position. You know, like a coach with his player. You have to go in there with that kind of mindset, and when it's done, it's done. You set the mark when you walk in there, and when it's done, it's done. Nobody controls that but you. And if you can't control it, then you get out of control, then the whole situation is going to be out of control. And believe me, you will pay for it one day. You continue that shit. Trust me. So always have control over everything that you do. Everything you do. And again, I'm going to keep on stressing this. Not only do you want to not waste your time, don't do it if you ain't got the means to take care of what you're doing. The most important thing after you do what you're doing is to take care of your animal. Period. Period. Not sit around and brag and talk and argue, whatever the hell we do when we do. No. First thing we're going to do is we'll talk about it once I take care of my business, because this is what it is, your business. Take your animal home, clean him up. If you can't clean him up immediately there, take him home and clean him up immediately. Those minutes has everything to do with infection and cleaning up. It's going to help out a whole lot better down the line. And if you ain't got a place to put them up, well, you have to put your animal back outside, anywhere outside, then just know that you've been told. You have been told. Don't do it. Don't do it. If you ain't got a lock on the garage, don't do it. If you can't put them up somewhere in a room, locked up with a blanket over them, then don't do it. You don't have the means to clean them up, don't do it. If you don't have the medicine to do it, don't do it. There's a whole lot of don't do's and something very critical. And I want you guys to pay attention to that. It takes discipline. Remember the patience, everything in. For those new guys out here, there's a lot of things I covered in my first video. So there's a mindset up to this point that a lot of guys who's already been in here know that the mindset that I'm talking about when I'm talking about what we're not going to be getting in the habit of doing, especially coming out of this room. See, in this room here, I'm expecting to be putting out real dogmen because I'm still trying to put together my 10-man team. You know, I'm still trying to get together my 10-man team. So I'm paying attention, and I mean, I'm like a draft agent here. I'm going to get everything I got to prove a point. Give me 10, and I guarantee you 8 going to be famous and not all 10. You know, I don't have to play the game to get the game and show you how dangerous I am, because I can put it in somebody else's hand and show you them being just as dangerous as I was. All they have to do is believe in me and what I'm telling them. That's why all you hear, then believe in what I'm telling you. What reason do I have to lie to you? Because I can keep it all to myself. Why would I share it with you guys? You know my position in that. For those guys that are new, welcome to the Going Hard Reloaded talk show. And as you hear me talk about these things to people who already have the mind concept and understanding how I handle things, you know, just fall in. And when you get a chance, you can go back to some of those videos if you're just catching it for your first time. You know, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. And if you like it, donate to the cause, because we have a cause here. And it's definitely a cause that we're trying to do here. Again, when we take our toys out to go play with it, we have to be prepared that when we get back, we can put our toys up properly, cleaned up, medicined up, and resting peacefully. I wouldn't care for 5 minutes. Get them used to that. You have to get that part right. If you can't understand that, then don't do it. If you can't control yourself and your emotions and your attitude, when you lose sight of what you're there to do, then don't do it until you are ready. Your dog might be ready, but you ain't ready. It's a team thing. You both have to be in accordance. He can't learn shit from you if you ain't teaching him shit. You can't pick up none of his moves if you're too busy thinking you in your first show or something, or like you got something to lose or prove. Then don't do it. You're not ready. You're not ready. Till you are the keeper. Until you become the keeper. You know, feeding and raking shit and giving your dog the medicine. Now we're up to the point where it's showtime. Time to see what the value of that chain space is. You know, there's a whole lot of emotions get caught up into that. You'd be surprised. That's why in my opinion, there's no such thing as a crowd. I don't believe in crowds. Too many people. You got people to be running their mouths. Everybody see things different. Then you're going to find yourself defending yourself about something that we're talking about something that has no relevance to anybody outside of what you're doing. None. They're not even their fucking opinion. Because you just be just you and another person and be damn the other people because they don't need to be there. There's more trouble in the wind. That's the main thing that we need to understand when y'all go out here hunting and playing with young ones. You know? Don't do it. If you can't do this the right way, don't do it. Now that we got the mindset out the way, we got all the things that we talking about far as before we pick up and touch anything, the don't do's, because a lot of them don't do's. Then we can start moving on. There's one other thing that I want to speak on when it comes to us calling and showing. Okay? There's one thing that I saw throughout the years that I never liked. I've been in situations where I didn't like what I was seeing. And I'm going to tell you what it is. In this game, we have a certain pride in our animals, that we love our animals. We're supposed to. I did. You know, I've never really been on that end of the stick where, you know, where I would sit back and let this game start looking like the people who don't understand the game look at us. You know, they look at us with disgust. They look at us like, you know, how could we be so evil? But then we can sit back and watch two people supposed to be smarter than dogs get in the octagon and beat the shit out of each other. We see it. So coming on my understanding and belief that you got two consenting adults doing what they do, we're all on the line. Now imagine if they didn't have a referee. Imagine if they didn't have a referee. And some of them guys, when they got to going down there, and you see how the referee had to dive in there and tackle people and push them out the way and, you know, throw them in headlocks sometime and snatch them up. You understand what I'm saying? And these are supposed to be humans now. Look how brutal that is. Yet they'll turn around and look at us. It's just the thought of what we do. Just the thought of the way we want to hunt and do our dogs. But it's bad when I can stand there at times and be me in the game with this, y'all, and feel like they do about some of the shit that I see. The disgust. The disgust. I mean, our referees don't jump in and do shit. They don't. And I'm going to speak it up. I'm going to speak it up. For historical purposes, I'm going to tell you like it is. I cannot stand when you see one losing, and you know when you're done. And you know when you're done. And no Hercules or you know, Jesus walking off the cross and coming down there to save you when you know you're done. Be a respectable dog man and concede. Do you and your animal a fucking favor. Respect the game. Respect the damn game. To stand there and literally, and I shame any referee involved in a hunt that you can stand there and let it become disgusting to the game, then you should never referee again in your world, in your life. Because you're not a good referee. There's no reason why. Once you're done, you're done. I've seen guys sit there and poor thing ain't got nothing left in them. Nothing left in them. But you want to sit there and just, for what? For what? That's the part I can't get. Don't tell me anything about being strategic. Nothing. Don't tell me that when you're not respecting the game. You're not respecting your kennel. Because just the kennel is going to get the respect taken. Because you ain't giving no respect. You love your animal, you get your animal up out of there, and you don't even make that part of your presumption of a game plan, whether you're calling or showing. When it's over for you, it's over. Give that dog respect. Win or lose. It's disgusting and it's not honorable. And if you get caught doing it around us in this fraternity, you believe me, we have a committee that's going to be dashing. We're going to be, yes, this underground is going to be a little different than the norm. Because you're going to have a little bit more respect for everybody doing it this way. It's not fair for a man to sit there and anybody else sit there and watch, literally watch something that when you start feeling like it's inhumane, then we starting to feel like the very people who try to tell us what's inhumane. But when we have to stand there and see something that we say is inhumane, you have disrespected the game. Because not one dog man in this game should let anybody, care who feeding that damn dog, stand there and let that animal be disrespected in any kind of way other than the way it's supposed to be. Humane. Fuck everybody else on the outside. We're talking about the inside of our doors. We know what's inhumane and what's humane. Now that inhumane shit inside these walls will get your ass blackballed. Think I'm playing? You start losing shit because that's going to be one of those issues and it's going to be held to anybody under the registry of it. Being a referee at any point, you down, you die, you're done. Period. Period. Referee, period. You know how to check. If you don't know how to check, you better get a mirror. But you know it's done. And for a man to sit back and let one go that far, when it's done, it's done. It's just how he let it go and let it get that far. Because I feel like all of them need to go home. All of them need to leave it wherever the hell they at. Every one of them need to come out them woods and you take them home to do your business. We don't want to see you degrade or disrespect nothing. That's not honorable. It's not a dog man. It's evil. And we don't need evil when we got everybody else out there on the outside the wall calling us evil. See, we ain't evil. When you do stupid shit like that right there, it's evil. Because there ain't no way in the hell a dog man should have to sit back and say that's inhumane. Not one dog man should have to say that. And if you have to say that, then it got to be. And it should be consequences. It has to be consequences. Because it's not fair. All the way around the board, even for the winner. Why should the winner sit there and have to go through that kind of shit anyway? He know he's won. The referee ain't calling it. You see the handler ain't calling it. He's trying to turn this shit into some trash. It's trash to him now. So he's trying to make everybody pay for it. He don't want to deal with it. But you get caught and be an honorable man and pick your shit up. Be an honorable man and do the right, humane thing. Referees, same thing. There's no way in the hell you're going to sit there and tell me you're going to have somebody getting to the point where it becomes inhumane. That's out. No, it's not going to be flying around. That's going to be something that we're going to be dealing with. And we're going to have to deal with that. The report comes in. The report comes in with anything inhumane. It will not be recorded. Give a fuck. And that goes for the referee and the loser. Has nothing to do with the winner because he is the one. He can follow on either one of you two. If he has to go through that inhumane shit. Because that's exactly what it is. It's a time to get rid of your shit. You take it home and you go do it that way. You lose, know when you lost. Know when you lost. I sit there and watch guys, their dog's legs get broke. Snap right in. Boom. Next thing you know it, they ready to pick up. Dog do a game ass scratch across the bottom. Boom, broke leg. And they ready to call the damn dog dead game. They ready to give him the dead game status because he ran across there with 3 wheels. Okay. But let's talk about something even better than that. How about the old poor little animal that had the 3 bleeders, 4 bleeders? Maybe he's just squirting every time he's getting punched. 15 minutes to look like it's a bloodbath up in there. What do you think you're going to come back and win doing what? You know what happens after 2 or 3. You know what? You know, if for you young ones that don't know, once you get to playing, you'll experience it and you may see it, but you'll know what it'll look like. When you hit that hog, and that hog run across your ass and split you 2 or 3 places and you squirting, it's just a matter of time. Just a matter of time. It's all bad for you. It's bad. Believe me. Unless you got that miracle thing in them where you did that damn drying out properly, you're in trouble. You're in trouble. Especially if it's not clotting up. You ain't got but 5 or 10 left in you before you're down. There's no coming back. There's no going to be no recovery. It's not going to be any of that. You're going to throw your hands up in the air and you're going to try to find you another way to win. And the only other way to win after that is being inhumane. That's the only other way to win. You're trying to win in an inhumane way. And that we cannot tolerate that, gentlemen. That's something we're not going to tolerate. Referees, any registered referee will be marked if the winner puts a complaint in. That means you, the loser, and the referee will have to be facing the committee of the older dog man and the people that's in those places that's going to make decisions. Remember, this is not a one-man band. And yes, those are going to be decisions that's going to be made. If you can't play with the hogs in the woods the correct way, where it becomes such an inhumane thing that it bothers the right people, they'll put a complaint in and it will be looked into, and you will. Yep, you will. Depends on how cruel it can be. Your motives, because that should not be a part of the strategic way of winning. We gotta respect this, win or lose, regardless. Respect the game. And what is the game? The dogs. The dogs. This should not be a part of anybody's strategy or repertoire as a last ditch before you have to get out. If you're willing to go that far, then you don't need to be playing in the basement. Okay? We're trying to get everybody's, they're already something to go long enough and hard enough. And do it in an honorable way. That's what we're trying to take care of right there. That's why everybody should learn what we're going to teach today. Everybody. Everybody. Because you're going to have a kennel accident. You're going to have a hunting accident. You're going to have one get loose, get hit by a car. So many things can happen. So we're going to do some medical shit. We just wanted to get some important things out the way. If everybody feel me and understand that, am I being fair? I mean, give me a thumbs up because it's everybody's opinion. Am I being fair and righteous about this? Before we get started, I need to know. Thumbs up, roses, give me an indication if there's something wrong with what I'm saying. Somebody speak up. Because this is something I want us all to be in agreement to. We should all be in agreement to that. So, Mike, what are we looking like?
Thumbs up.
Okay, Mike says thumbs up. So that means everybody's in agreement. So we should never have to go dragging one out of the depths of the goddamn deep waters. We should never have to be standing there talking about, man, come on, man. Come on, man, don't do that. We should never have to say that if everybody's in coordinates with what I'm saying and we all understand what the fuck I'm saying. And for anybody and all people involved to know what I'm saying should make your asses mad. For those that don't give a fuck when you lose, then it should make you wonder and think about it. Because no, you just can't do it now. Not over here. Not in our basement. Throw that out your playbook because that's not going to be a playbook. Not a playbook move. We're going to take these things and we're going to do them at home. Take them home. Everybody take your animals home. Do whatever you want, but take your animals home. Don't mistreat. Don't belittle. Don't destroy. Not even the weakest, wackiest cur deserve that. Because it's not about them. It's about you as a person and a dog man to respect the game and the purpose of this game and why we take the chances and do the things that we do for the love of the dogs. So that's a point that I had to make, and there were several good points from the time I said when I came on here. Before we start doing this other stuff, a couple things that we need to take care of. You know, we have to build a house, and the house has to be clean. Now, once everybody get up in there, they can dirty it up. But if we got a house that we came in with, we know what it looks like when it's clean. And our job now is to make sure don't nobody come in here and dirty this shit up. That's already been made clear. From the school to the show. To the school, from the school to the show. As dog men and anybody to look at this, we all understand where I just spoke on. From the school to the show. All right? Let's get busy. Okay. Now, one of the things that I was interested in dealing with is, getting the right tools. So we're going to be doing a lot of getting the right tools, okay? And it's a two-part show. It's going to have to be because you're going to see how long this takes. By the time I just get into the tools, not the medicine and all that stuff. I'm talking about things that you're gonna have on hand, like a person to go fishing. Like your car, got all the little things, fuses and spare tires and jacks and things to jack it up in case your tire go flat. Battery or the fuse go out, got a fuse to pull out. Okay, then this is what we need for our shit. We need to have the right tools. tools are going to be very important. So we're going to start off with a couple of the tools. All right? First thing that I think right off the bat, and the only reason I'm coming with this one because it's one of the hardest things and it's very important. If you guys out there know a supplier that can get you some help with it, you know, share it with us. Share it with me. Share it with me. Because I'm trying to help all y'all. So if you can just believe in me, you like me good enough to say, Twin, I know where I can get that shit. I'd be really appreciated because you're doing a big favor to some people that are really going to need this because it's something that they all must have. Okay? Lactated ringer. First thing I want to start off with. Lactated ringer solution is a prescription medication that works to help return the proper balance of electrolytes to your pet's body. Ringer solution contains many of the same electrolytes that the blood produces naturally, like sodium lactate, potassium chloride in water. You want to have that on hand as an emergency. Should be sitting in a refrigerator, one of them little $69 box refrigerators and shit that we keep around. You know, the little apartment ones. Get the opportunity, get you about 6 bags. Just keep them in the refrigerator because you never know when you need it. You never know when you got somebody you can help out. You never know. So that's just being a good, smart dog man. So if somebody knows where they can get their hands on that shit and they can help us out, it would be greatly appreciated. I'm going to do what I can. I'm going to do what I can because I used to keep the shit. Had it coming in where I could help anybody who needed it. And I never was ashamed or boasted about sharing it. You know? If you can't feed your dog, then you can't buy my shit. You understand what I'm saying? You should be willing to buy it right off the bat because you ain't got it, but you should be ready to buy it just because you don't got it. You understand what I'm saying? You should be ready to buy it. Anytime you go somewhere, you know somebody got it, you better have your hands on the money to take care of your shit, especially if you ain't got it, especially if you're a player in the game with the show. If you ain't got it, be glad that somebody standing around that's got it, then be ready to pay for it. You should become prepared to pay for it, just in case, because you can't, there's no such thing as, overconfident in the game. It's not being overconfident, it's being stupid. Okay? Just keeping it real. There's no such thing as being overconfident as being stupid. Because you just don't call it like it's like a football. On any given Saturday, shit can get real raggedy for your ass. Real raggedy. If you ain't prepared, you ought to be glad when somebody's even offering to help. Pay for it. You want to save your shit, you should have the money in your pocket to pay for it, win or lose. Okay? Lactate acid, you guys got that? I just need to know, because I'm going to move on. Everybody understand that. Remember, guys, if we got some help, anybody can help us, we are going to appreciate it. Okay? We going to really appreciate you. Lactate, what we need for the lactate solution, we need an IV setup. This is what is considered a good IV kit setup. Write that down, gentlemen, if you got to pay anything, so you can Google this shit and y'all can see this shit. Okay? It's called a IV ringer kit. You see the alcohol prep thing? You see the pad, you see the gauze, and you see the tape. Now that little square thing up in there, that little thing right here, that right there, that's like a piece of tape that once you get that needle in, you fold that. I take a piece of gauze and I fold it right up under that. Right up under my needle. You know, like a little pillow where it's not laying flat. It's got a little angled up so it can sit properly up into the vein. Okay? And then you take that and you fold that over it. It's going to be like a little glass mirror, and it's going to wrap right over that gauze in that needle. And it'll set right nice, perfect around your dog's leg. Me personally, if I have to run an IV on one, I'm going to shave the area that I'm going to be looking for a vein. You're going to see the shears as we come up, but we're just we're getting the tools together. And then we'll play with the tools once we go through them and get them all together. Okay? That tape right there on this side over here, that tape is real good. It's almost like a water resistant, you know, you can have a little wet to it and it'll still snap and grab. Okay? But you wanna, like I said, we'll go through those things at a later moment. We're just getting our toolbox together. Very important to get the toolbox together, gentlemen. Okay? That toolbox helps us. Just getting the toolbox together. We ain't talking about what we doing with it, how to put it into the down ringer bag, and none of that right now. I'm just going over our toolbox. Okay? Next thing we're going to do is clean and protect the wound. I know too many guys are wondering why that bag bomb's sitting over there. See, that's a going hard trick thing. That's a going hard thing. But you want to write them things down right there. Clean and protect the wound. That's bag bomb, that green can. Right there. That's bag bomb. I'm going to tell you like this. I use bag bomb and that sulfidine right there. I don't know if you can see it, but if you look it up, that's sulfidine. That's SULFODENE. It's a 3-way ointment. Write that down and then you Google it and then you read it. You Google bag bomb and read it. And then you say, okay, I understand. I see what twin coming with this. Because what I do is I use that I get me a little glass bowl. I like the little glass bowls because I like them with caps where I can put me a cap over it where I ain't got to throw it away. I don't like using plastic. I like, mixing my shit up in a little glass, where I can put a top on it because I'm going to be using that. That's my ointment. Okay? If you understand what bag bomb does, it's the perfect thing to put in a wound. It's better than the triple ointments to me because it keeps the skin from scabbing up and dying. Let me say that one more time so y'all can see me in my face when I tell you important things that I want you to really understand. If you read on the bag bomb and you understand what the bag bomb is used for, and it has many uses, a lot of older people can tell you that, There's an old person that told me about it anyway. But the bag bomb, it really does. It really keeps the skin from dying. You can put it on the nipple of a cow that you constantly sucking the machine up in that motherfucking titty just to get milk. And it keeps that thing from bladdering up and getting fucked up and getting the mastitis. Then that shit'll work for a dog like it did for a cow and like it does for people. Bag bomb's a bad motherfucker. You just want to mix that with the sulfidine. You just want the sulfidine to be able to mix with it, because when you mix it with it, it's the bag bomb mixing with the sulfidine, and then you slap that much shit up inside there. You understand what I'm saying? Look what you got up in there. Gonna keep that tissue soft. Remember, when it starts getting hard and you start getting them little rots and knots up in there because you didn't keep it cleaned. You didn't clean it out. You didn't keep it. You gave it room to clot up and not openly fresh. See, bag bomb will get up in there and keep it, that flesh, fresh. Where you won't get them scar balls as it's trying to heal from the swelling and the buildup of all that infection and liquid and pus. You know, again, I'm showing you the tubes. I'm not getting involved. I'm just letting you know how valuable the bag bomb and the sulfidine is. Once you look up the sulfidine, then you're going to see, just read the three-way thing and what it does, and you're going to, light going to come on your head. Oh, yeah, okay. Not bad, twin. I know. Y'all like that. All right? Shampoo. You notice I got Banadine shampoo, which is the scrubber. It's the skin scrubber cleaner. You know, I like using that. And then you got the antiseptic, the Banadine solution. Okay, write them down, gentlemen. I'm trying to leave them on the, I'm trying to give you a chance to write all that down. Make your little notes. Because when I talk to you, I'm going to come back and talk to you, and then I'm going to explain, you know, like I did the bag bomb and the sulfidine, why those three things, them two things is very important. Okay. Okay, the skin cleaners. That's important, you know. You know, some of them has Banadine solution, shampoo. Some of them has a cleaner. You know, to me, they're the same thing because they suds up. And the thing that I want to do is I want to take that suds up and stick it down in them holes. Stick it down on them cuts. And I want to take me a nice gauze, a little syringe, a little saline or water, and squirt it up to suds it up to get down in there, the cut, and clean the flesh. When you got a stomach, you shouldn't be in the game. But you want to clean that flesh, that flesh. You want to clean that cut. You want to make sure it stop bleeding and all that. The only way you want to do that is get that suds down there with that saline or that water down there and get some goddamn reaction going on. Clean it up. If you can stick your finger down in there, then guess what? Then you need to be taking that solution and squeezing it and scrubbing it. I mean, scrub it pink. See what you're looking at. You see a bleeder, handle it. You're gonna find the vein. We go through all that. I'm just going through the tools. But why do I want the shampoo or whatever else you want to call it? It works. Wet the dog down after a show and wash the whole body. Ears and everything. All the wounds, scrub them out. Take your time. Warm water, got him sitting up in there and just clean your shit up. It feels good when you got a winner. But it even feels better when you got a game loser. Okay? I mean, that's the only ways that I see him coming home. Okay? I'm just keeping it real. So, take your time. Let's clean them up. That's the first thing you do. Warm water. Sit them up in there. Warm up that body with that nice warm water and then suds it up and just scrub it down. I don't want none of the other dog. I don't want the hog nowhere on my shit. I'm scrubbing from head to toe. I want a nice, sudsy, clean dog. And I wash him off. I want him smelling clean. I want all them cuts and holes and whatever else got cut on him clean. Nice and fresh. Dry him off. And grab the Banadine, the microscopic one, and you just start squirting one at a time. You will address them one at a time. I always say go for your biggest ones first. Close them up. We'll go through those things later. But remember the routine. Remember the routine. Wash them, good wash, Bandidine. That's some good stuff. The skin cleaner is a suds up. Good cleaner. You'll love it. After that, dry them up. Take your gauze, pat all your shit down, and get your desk together. I mean, once you get all the tools, you'll have all this set up, and you'll be like a little emergency room where you'll have all this shit set up. Remember what I told you? If you ain't got it ready to do it, you ain't got no business doing it. Remember, we said all this from the beginning, and as you can see, I stay on this certain path. Then I'll jump back and show you where what I said in the beginning of all this is being said. I shouldn't have to say it now. You know, all this, you're going to be getting this information. You should be able to put it in the proper perspective. And if you ain't asking questions, I'm going to count on the fact that you are putting it in the right perspective, okay? All right, that was a good one. That's number uno. I hope y'all writing these things down. It really helps the tool bag. Mm-hmm.
Somebody said, what about mouth wounds?
Same. Gum. Right here. Those right there, they can get ugly. Yeah, they swell up real bad. And cuts all up in there. It's treated the same way. Flip that mug up. Flip that mug up.
That's Chisholm 98. That's for you, Chisholm 98. That was for you.
Tool bag. Oh, what a nice one, huh? Guys, that thing don't cost but $40. It's got all the tools you need right there. A walking surgeon. Everything you need right there. By the time you're done, you're going to know how to use all that shit. It's going to make you a hell of a dog man. Just to have the right tools. Remember now, we go out here and buy harnesses, treadmills. We do all that shit. But the last thing that we do is do the most important thing that we should be doing first. And that's why I'm addressing all this shit first. Tool bag. For those, again, who didn't see the video of the yard, and those who have seen the video of the yard, y'all know the process that I call drawing the yard. And as you can tell, you see where we're at. All right? We are on those tools. All right? Now, remember what I said. Them tools got everything in it, from the scalpel to the pincher to the clamps to the forceps to the scissors to the tape scissors. It got everything. $39.98 free shipping, eBay. Can't beat it. Keep your woman out of it. Keep your kids out of it. That's a very important piece of tool right there. That's just for your dogs. And I'll show you later how to do the what we call the poor man's sterilization. All you need is a damn pressure cooker. I'll show you how to pressure cook and sterilize your tools. Because that's what they are, your tools. That's right. We're going to have to learn how to sterilize that shit. Not wash it off. Stick it back in this little slot. Or wipe it off. I'm going to teach you guys how to sterilize your shit with a pressure cooker. Okay. Nice ass bag, wasn't it? I'm sorry I didn't get the pressure cooker thing together. This gonna be part of my next. That might be a part 3 on that, because we still got to go through a whole lot of other shit. Okay. But that was a nice bag, and I put that one up there particularly because for the money, it was perfect. But I'm going to show you another one that you're gonna like, and this is just an array of a couple things. All right. I'm gonna start on this end here because we just got out that pretty bag. Now that bag right there costs like $24, and you notice it's got everything you need. If you don't understand what this is what I call a beginner's tool bag. And why do I prefer to have them both? Because if I had them both, look at all the blades I got. Those are blades. Look at the hooks, the cat guts, my sutures. Look at that. See it? More sutures. That's what we got here. This is a learner's kit. And you'll see more about it. We're going to see more about it. Those are different cuts. Different cuts. All right? You want to Google that? Write that down in your notes. Put in sutures practice kit. Sutures practice kit. That's what you want to put down. And as you can see, there's a couple of skins of skin down in there. You know what I mean? You got a couple of them you can work with. All right? I'm bringing that to your attention.
What is it for? Practice how to...
Practice on how to stitch. Those are cuts. Practice using the, stitching up shit. It'll all come together by the time we get to the end. I'm pointing these things out. Remember what I said. I'm showing you it's a tool bag. It's just a tool bag. That's what we're discussing. The tools. Then I'm going to come over here to this one, the stapler. Okay? That's a disposable staple. They got staples that's not disposable. Okay? You're going to need the staples. You guys got to have that part of your tools. You got cat guts, which is this here. The little hook needle and the cat guts. We got them over there. That's what this is here. I call them cat guts. All right? And then you have the staple remover. So we have all the tools to deal with the cat guts or the staples. We have glue. Yep, that's glue. A little place plaster, In some cases, we can use it to wrap our tape. And sometimes we can put a little of that on there and close a wound, and that's all it needed. I'm not a fan of using glue unless I'm using it for a certain reason, like, drains. I'm gonna show you guys how to put drains in your dogs where all that pus and shit don't build up under their jaw, or where we're gonna use gravity to let those things, instead of sitting up under the skin, and turning into big knots. And believe me, you don't want to have to dealing with a big knot. You wouldn't understand what it takes to have to go in there and tear that thing down to get it down to nothing, because it's a cruel job. But if you let it happen, you have to go in there and really stab all into that stuff, and you be like, it's a big ass knot. You ain't gonna let it just go down on its own, because it won't. It'll always come back to hurt you along the way, and it turns into a handlebar for your next one. Okay, and you don't want that. So the best thing to do is prevent it from happening by addressing it You know, as we'll go down the line, like I said, it's part of the tools. You know, it can come in handy when we come down to running those lines under the skin with those little cuts in them for that shit to drain out the dog. So don't stay in the dog and go to a low spot and turn into a big ass water balloon. Understand? We catch it right up here high and put a drain there, let it run on out instead of down here, keep it coming out all across here. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna work out. All right? This here's stop bleed. It's a clotting. Again, remember that pretty toolbox. When you cleaning that thing out and you got a squirter there, you'll be able to put enough cleaning down in there to scrub that thing out where you'll know where it's coming from. Once you start using and I always say use a big syringe. Don't just use pour water all over it. No, you want to attack those bleeders right with that, you know, a syringe of water in your suds. Scrubbing it and cleaning it, scrubbing it and cleaning it, and then washing it off. Guess what you're going to be noticing? You're going to notice where that bleeder is. Sometimes you can literally grab it with your little forceps, literally grab it and clamp it. And just clamp it just a little bit and take that little blood stop and sprinkle all around the tip of it. And just let the clamp stay there. And give it a chance to clot up. Okay, things we'll go over later. Just pointing out things for your toolbox. All right, that was blood stop, glue, cat guts, disposable and reusable stapler, staple remover, and you have your suture kit. Nice kit. That's a practice kit for me. I mean, I wouldn't mind having, me personally, I gotta have both kits. Because remember, it's still gotta be sterile. Okay? So why would I take my good tools that I need to be sterile all the time and practice playing? You know, make sense, right? Catch my point? We have a doctor's bag that's sterile. And then we got this other shit that we can play with and practice with. So when we get to our real good shit, we know what the hell we doing with it. Okay? Good point to be made, gentlemen. Am I making any sense? How's everybody doing? I mean, Mike ain't saying nothing. I hope I'm doing all the right things.
I think the fellas is just taking notes, man.
Well, look, while y'all taking notes, don't make me have to put a pause on there and make sure everybody step in there and hit the like button. Okay? I don't know how many people in the room, but you know, I can stand right here a couple seconds and hit this joint while y'all click out there and hit the like button for me. And then come back and put me a thumbs up and I'll move forward. If you ain't already hit the like button, go ahead and hit the like button. If you ain't already hit the subscribe button, hit the subscribe button. We too close to 1,000 now. My ass is getting real anxious, man. I'm getting ready to break the fuck out of here. Y'all gonna see a change of space, boy. It's gonna change quick.
We're getting close, baby.
We're getting close, baby. We down there, everybody playing with the tools. You know what next? You already hear me talking about a 10-man team. Okay? All right, getting there now. My lungs really can't take the shit, but it really keeps me calm and it helps keep my blood pressure down. And you know, I'm trying to do that with like, I get hyper and keep my blood pressure down while I'm doing these shows. My doctors think I'm being dangerous. Yeah, am I getting loud again?
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, see what I'm saying? And that's, you know, I gotta slow down. So, and it should be strong as hell. And I'll be coughing, man, you know what I'm saying? And that just really be make my allergies and all that shit. But guess what, guys? The shit makes me feel better. Okay? Now, is everybody back? Mike, did you see some? Oh, see? I mean, you know how it is, man, when you got a chain on your ass and you can't really get height. You know?
They got roll systems up.
Okay. Might be really getting on me about this loud talking. Man, how do they, you know, I feel like goddamn Samson and shit. I don't put you, turn that motherfucker so I can scream. You know what I'm saying? Goddamn. All right, fellas. All right, everybody back? All right, let's move on. Okay, fellas. Take notes. This over here is very valuable in our world. I've seen too many guys. You go to the vet, you see, you know, you ever had a dog go to the vet, you always see that little bald spot over there. You know, and we, some of you guys hate them doing that. But me personally, if I'm putting my shit up, it ain't got no business being out there for nobody to see any damn way. I'll shave all my shit up. I ain't playing. Whatever makes it easy for me to get the job done. That's the point. You know, that ain't nothing but a set of clippers right there. Them is clippers, good clippers, pet clippers. You want to be able to shave that hair around them areas that you're going to be doing work. So I always say, control the bleeding, then control the hair. Then clean the skin. Again, we'll go through those things down there later. All right, so we got that going. Now we have the gauze. You know, gauze ain't gonna never have shit. All right. Then we got the tape. Remember that special kind of tape I said? You know, it's that good shit. You'll see it out there. It's that real clear. It's not really like clear through, but it's got those little ridges in it. And believe me, that shit stick even when it's wet. Okay? We got our wrap up. This is not the final wrap up. This is like the second layer over the gauze. You go over the gauze, you put your pad for your gauze for those, you know, sometimes you're gonna need gauze to wrap some of that shit up. It's gonna have to get wrapped up. Some of you can leave open if you did what you're supposed to do. What I say, don't do it unless you can put them up somewhere. Okay, so you should be able to put them up somewhere and they don't do nothing but heal. Okay, the third layer is this. I know if you've seen it. And I'm pretty sure you guys see it all the time. That's the little wrap on the outside where you wrap up everything else. It's a little thicker and a little stronger wrap. And it really locks in there pretty good. Okay? And then you got your collar. It's one of the most important things. Everything around there, and I would have to say this is the most important thing. Because this is going to keep all your shit in place. It's going to keep him from licking shit off. It's going to keep him from ripping shit off. They'll take their paw and scratch something and then turn around and lick their foot off, trying to clean it off. As long as they know they're getting something off of it, they're going to keep doing it. And they're doing nothing but making it worse. So you put the Elizabeth collar on all your dogs all the time. Guys who got bigger yards and can afford to, you know, play on your own yard, then you should have 2 of those. You know what I mean? 2 of those. And if you do a lot of doing, then you need to have as many as you plan on doing. I wouldn't do no more than what I got to put on their head. Because that to me is very important. Very important. This right here is very important. For those who don't get it, let the ones who do get it explain to you why this is so important. That eliminates all the things that a dog can do to hurt himself after you didn't put all that time and work into cleaning them up. It helps out on the head. It helps out keeping them out of aggravating certain areas that they don't need to be aggravating. And then after a while, they just get used to having it there where they don't even give a damn and they just want to chill and heal. And then it's also wide enough and big enough for them to sit their head down into a bowl to eat or in a bowl of water to drink. Okay. I hope everybody got that information. I hope you wrote it down. I hope you put a star by the Elizabeth collar. Make sure that you don't get that cheap shit. You know which one I'm talking about. You want to get that reusable shit. And just make sure that you don't get lazy. And these things can last a long time. They can go on a couple several dogs. You just don't get lazy and let your dog fuck it up. All right? That's one of the main things we want to make sure that you guys take care of. I hope you wrote all that stuff down. Do I need to go back? Everybody wrote it down. It was clippers, a nice box of gauze, thicker, absorbent gauze, and the tape that you got to tape shit down. Then you got the wrap gauze. Okay, that's the wrap, your cushiony gauze. You give a two wraps over that. And then you wrap it down.
They want to know, Upper Echelon wants to know about the broken leg and the gauze.
Okay, on the broken leg and the gauze, there's a thing, you look on the internet. And I should have bought that, I should have got that. Now, on the front legs is where you have the problem. The front leg. They got a thing out there that seems like it's a forearm pad. It's like a forearm pad. And you can literally take a broken leg, stick it down in there, and form it right around. And still wrap it up with this wrap here. As long as you ain't got no open wounds. You got an open wound in there, especially in a break where it's broke the skin. You want to put the bone back in place as best you can. But the sooner the better that you do that and wrap it with this right here. I'm going to look into that. I'm going to look into that, okay? It's like a brace in the paw, even the paw sits down in there. So even if he wanted to walk, he wouldn't be, his paw wouldn't be hitting the ground. You just set it right in there. When you trying to lay it down to set it down, it's got enough there up under there where the pad of the paw is sitting up inside, and it's got a little hook up right there. So they really walking on it, but they're only hitting that part, okay? But it's a real nice piece there that you want to have, a splint, basic splint. Sometimes you can take popsicle sticks. You'll get you a bag of them and keep them in your tool bag. Comes into a break, broke ankle, broke paw, broke forearm. You just take it, take the splints and tape them. What I do is I lay me a strip of tape, right? And I stick them with tape. See, I don't just take one, put one on this side, one on the side and wrap it up. No. I don't do that. No, I take two. I take one, roll down, right? Now I roll me another strip down, and I roll that down. Okay? Now, remember, I got a roll. I should be able to take right there at the break and take my first sticks. Remember the first strip of sticks? And wrap it right around. That means those sticks are going long ways, all the way around. See what I'm saying? All the way around, right around the break. And I'm taping it. All right? And then I'm coming back and I'm dropping, whether it's a high end or low end. Remember, if it's a low end down here and the weaker end, you want to put the next row down there right on top of the sticks. You know, it's going this way. You want to go half of that and then down this way. If it's a high end, then you want to go up this way. What you're trying to do is brace it all the way around. And so now you got the row, you got it here, and then you got it here. Okay, that's 2 rows of sticks. And you got to tape around the leg. So you got brace all over the place so he can't put his paw down and cause no trouble. That's the key. Okay? Sometimes I would take half sticks, right? And make a little, and get me a cup, you know, a Dollar Tree cup, and stick their paw in there and tape it up there. Once I got all my shit taped down, right? I take me some gauze and stick down in the bottom of the cup and take the plastic cup up on the paw and tape it right on up. Pressure on it, putting it on the cup. You understand what I'm saying, peoples? Okay, now this is for the brakes. Remember, I'm wrapping the whole thing. Where the whole thing got sticks all the way around it. And then I'm going down another level and I'm doing it here. Imagine that. It's a hell of a brace. And once you lock it in, with this wrap right here, you got enough gauze. You got enough to even wrap his little paws if you want to put them up in there and cover them up a little bit. But this is what you wrap it with. This is the perfect shit that you wrap it with. Because that's going to be the strong wrap and tight wrap that's going to lock it all together and piece it and hold it together. Everybody got me on that? So we all in agreement. Anybody lost? Anybody got any questions? Well, guys, I swear to God, boy, y'all make me feel like a great teacher. Y'all come up in my room now. I see y'all talking in everybody else's room. And people, I heard y'all make comments. Shit, we go to going hard during heat. Shit, we kind of forget about everything listening to them. Y'all forget to hit the like button. Y'all forget to hit the subscribe. You know, even for you guys that come in and catch it out there after the show's over, y'all just run across there. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the like button. And if you want to give into the situation, man, that we are trying to move forward with and support me and our crew, please do, because we want that too. We want everybody to be a part. I'm going to speak up and continue speaking on those people who have done it, okay? And I'm going to tell you, a lot of people who ask a lot of questions are the people who are really putting out the support. You know? Just because I'm a good friend to everybody, hey, man, I can support everybody and help you. But, hey, man, show some love, because it's not for me. It's for what you give me, I'm giving back to the game. So, like we said, like 2-in-1 said, it don't hurt even the dollars. Enough people out here that said there, look, y'all, on the 28th, it'll be 60 days. And at the rate we're going, we're going to have over 60,000 views, you know, and with what, 20, maybe 21 videos. Remember, we're going to come on twice a week. And you mean to tell me twice a day? Damn near 60,000 views. You know, and to me, I'm looking at y'all. I'm looking at y'all. You know, I'm just being a dog man. That's all I'm being. You know, I'm not trying to contend with nobody but the people who's sitting here watching me. Because I'm sharing you the world of the game. You know what I mean? In my world. I'm giving you my world. So you can see where I'm coming from in my views. And you can do whatever you want with it. But I hope it's a good thing with it, okay? But yeah, I want y'all to, man, come on. Come on, don't slow down. Keep it going. We got a long way to go. We got a long way to go. And I want to be able to keep it going, and especially when I get up behind this chair. It's going to really get better. But yeah, take that time out to take care of that stuff and look out for us. Because what we're doing is we're looking out for you. Now, did I answer somebody else's question?
Roses and thumbs up and graduation hats and all types of shit going on over here.
Well, man, thank you guys. I'm glad to see we getting there. Okay, now you're gonna be at this point here, guys. This is something a little different, okay? So I'm gonna whip this thing on y'all. I'm gonna whip it on y'all because I didn't want to get y'all looking at the kit and getting the kit and not knowing what to do with the kit. All right, so I went and got me a YouTube video to show y'all with that kit tool what to do. Now, I'm gonna play this. Me and Mike still don't understand if the sound gonna come out of this loud enough to go into our mic for you guys to hear it, or you guys gonna tell us because we got it hooked to this our board that the sound is actually making it out there to you. Either way, we need to know, guys, if you can hear this, okay? That's all we need to know is, can you hear it? It's very important because I can't see it. But, you know, G1 said he got, number one said he got it. So I'm going to take y'all there and enjoy the video.
What's up, you guys? Hey, it's Dr. Buck. Thanks for watching this video. And this video is how to suture from a surgeon. So this video is actually going to be a quick and dirty guide to how I suture. This is the first video in a series of videos that are going to teach about suturing, suture material, instruments, and all that good stuff. I'd like to thank the folks at Medical Creations for supporting my channel by sponsoring this video as well as sending me this suture kit I'll be using today. So what you get here is a nice little kit like that. So what you get in this kit is a pair of forceps. These are APBT'S, a needle driver, scalpel, hemostats, and scissors. Perfect, right? You also get a bunch of suture and one of these pads to suture on. This is actually the old style pad. This is the new pad. It's a great little kit if you want to learn and practice at home. And the company is called Medical Creations. So let's get to it. I'm going to pull out my needle driver here and my forcep and some scissors. And I've already opened a pack of actually a 4.0 silk suture. We're gonna go over the types of sutures and the needles and all that stuff later. But this one, let's talk about how to put the needle on the needle driver. You want it at about a 90-degree angle. That's just because my arms are triangulating the spot that I want to be. It provides a 90-degree angle to the actual incision site. So I do that sometimes. Second thing is how to hold the needle driver. You want to put your thumb and your ring finger in the needle driver, not the index here, not the index or the middle finger. The other way you can do it is, the way I do it is you palm the needle driver like that. And then that gives you more kind of like degrees of freedom because you can actually twist it like this. But when you're starting out, if you want to do those two, that's just with skin. So if I'm going to try and close this incision right here, I'm going to take this needle driver and I want to put my finger as close to the tip of the needle driver as possible. That actually makes the tip of the needle driver more steady and thus the needle more steady. And the more things that you can rest your hands or elbows or wrists on, the more steady you're going to be. I twist my wrist like this, and I get the needle so it's going in about 90 degrees to the skin. Once it's in the depth that I like, I twist my wrist, okay, and I see the needle come out. You can close incisions with 1 or 2 bites. Exactly where I want to grab it for the next bite. And that is about 2/3 back and at the tip of the needle driver. 2/3 of the what's good about palming is I pull it up slowly, right? I twist, and I'm actually ready for the next bite. There it is. And notice I am palming, which is why I can make this move. Once I put that in the second side, I can go ahead and pull this out. Now I don't have to really hold the needle with my forceps. The reason is because once you put the needle in the tissue should stay stable unless the patient's moving all around. And stay stable if you hold it with the forceps. So you want to hold the tissue actually with the forceps and not the needle with the forceps.
All right, guys, you got that? You got that? Remember what they said. When you run the needle, you got to run it, hold it, and then bring it through. He's using the tools. Is what I want you guys to pay close attention to. Is how he's using the tools. Now, remember guys, you can write this video down. How to suture, intro to suturing like a surgeon. All right, because we don't want to do no copyright infringements or shit like that. You know me, I needed, it was important for me to bring it to your attention. And make it happen from there. All right, but I'm not going to stop there. Just wanted to stop and bring you guys up to date. Did everybody get that? Okay, so we keep it going.
And if you hold the tissue in place and let go of the needle should stay right in place, and so then you can pick it up again. Now I can pull it out a little bit again. I'm going to grab it right where I want the needle driver to go for the next bite, but I'm not going to actually do next bite because we're going to tie this. And so here's another tip here. A lot of students I see, we have this long suture here. A lot of people like pull this way high, right? You're going to touch your face, you're going to hit somebody else's face. If you're in a real procedure, you're going to make it unsterile, you're going to lay this suture way out somewhere else that's not sterile. So here's a little tip here. What you can do is you just put your forceps right in here, okay, and you pull this along. And you want to pull this suture down until you got a few centimeters out there and the suture is sticking straight up. That's going to help later. So then I'm going to let go of the needle with this hand. Now, the needle is not really that dangerous when it's not attached to something. If it's attached to this, you know, you can poke somebody. So as long as the needle is like, then typically doesn't really cause any damage and won't poke through anything. So what I do here is I grab usually a couple palm lengths or so, and I'm also palming the forceps with my left hand. Okay, this is for right-handers. And all I do is just put the needle driver in between the tail and the length of the suture. And the first one, I usually do 2 wraps, so this is pretty typical. Notice how much length I have. A lot of students, they make a mistake, they go like this, and then they don't have anything, it's tight, and it's gonna get caught in these jaws. When you open it up, it gets caught, or gets caught in these back here. Make a big, nice loop. And then when you bring it in, okay, I kind of brought around the back, I start to make that loop. And then look how big that loop is, and then I make another loop, and it's nice and big. And then I grab this tip here, which is sticking straight up for me, and then I bring this across, and I pull this through, okay? And then I lay this down, put a little bit tight, not too tight, just approximating the tissue. You don't want to strangulate the tissue. To set this suture so it doesn't come out for my next throw, I pull it like this. Snap it like that. And even you can set it up in the air a little bit so that way it's not laying on the skin. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my needle driver between the long end and the tail again. And I'm going to make this big old loop. I don't care if it's too big, but I don't want it too small. And then I'm going to pull it through. And this will then secure that. Now I'm going back and forth and I'm gonna make a square knot. So now I'm gonna go this way. I didn't pull it up in the air. Right? Bang. Boom. Boom. Back and forth. Okay, I got a little, maybe too much there. But that is essentially simple suturing. Now this is a and there are lots of different types of sutures and knots and stitches, and we're going to go over those in my other videos. But I'm just going to do a couple more for you to watch.
Everybody get that? Again, you can go on YouTube and find this. It's called How to Suture. Intro to Suturing Like a Surgeon. Real good information, guys. Real good information. Okay? Just want to make sure everybody's still up on it. You can hear it. You can hear it good. Remember, I hope you guys got the pencils and papers and writing this stuff down. You know how it gets when it comes to classroom. You know how informative I am. You see, I ain't going to let you down. I'm trying to give it to you like I get it. Okay? So, you know, I got the major point to that. You understand what I mean? So, that was one of them. Called How to Suture the Intro Like a Surgeon. Yep, hit your YouTube. Go find it. He's got a couple of them out there. It'd be good watching. You know what I mean? So the other thing is, we're gonna move forward. I think I got one more with the stitching, with the staples. Okay. I thought that was a pretty good video there, guys. I really did. I hope y'all wrote that down. Yeah, that was pretty good information. Y'all be so quiet up in here. It'd be like spooky. Okay. Up for you. A little talk. See how the mic is all in front of me and shit? Yeah, I ain't trying to make that mistake. Yeah, so you see how low I'm talking, y'all? Yeah. McElroy says Antonio Webb got some good videos to, okay? McElroy, you see him down there, A.M. McElroy. Antonio Webb got some good videos too, guys. All right, thanks there, McElroy. Thank you. Take that note down there. It's down at the bottom. This boy over here bugging me. Am I still talking too loud? All right, guys, this is on staples. Okay? We're going to go to do but that was an A1 on that, bro. You a new one. I ain't seen you before. So my hat out to you and salute, B. Hope you subscribed. Thanks for coming. Let's try this again, fellas. Let me get this thing set up before I start doing. I'll get when shit start acting up. You know? Man, it's just funny to see that mic down there. You know, ain't no hype in me today. And I hope y'all enjoying it. I mean, a lot of good information. Into the computer or somehow, and you get to see the shit that they looking at. Yeah, the shit is tight as hell. Yeah, cause that you can see it.
Okay, it's cool now.
It ain't gonna stay cool.
Yeah.
Hey everyone, welcome to another mini med lessons video. Today I'm going to be talking about how to place skin staples to close a laceration. So first of all though, please hit subscribe, hit the bell button so you get notifications every time I post a new video. And yeah, thank you for all the support. Now, first of all, before I actually perform this, I want to show you there's different types of staplers. This one here, one of the smaller, cheaper versions that are pretty common to find in urgent cares and emergency rooms. It's a bit smaller. Notice it's just a small little handheld thing, and you push down here in order to have this, and I'll demonstrate that in a moment. But there's other versions that are much larger, like this one. This one I actually prefer a lot better because you can hold it in your hand like this. The staples come out here at the tip. Okay, and so this one you push the skin together and just clamp and staple like you might use a staple gun if you're doing construction or craft work or things like that. So these are the two different types. I'm going to demonstrate with both of these today. My preference because I feel like I have better control over it, and I like the way that it leaves staples in the skin, and you'll probably see why as I demonstrate here. So before I go ahead and demonstrate how you place the sutures in the laceration, I want to talk a little bit about why you might choose to use a stapler instead of suturing. Now, in most of my other videos, I'm demonstrating suturing technique, and so why would you choose stapling over suturing or vice versa? And you know, there are many advantages and disadvantages to both, and one of the main advantages to a stapler is it's much faster, it's a little easier, it doesn't require as much skill, and it's a little harder to mess up, really. The staples and sutures generally stay in for the same amount of time. They both have to be removed unless you've used dissolvable sutures, like with a subcuticular technique. But really, I think the biggest advantage and the reason many clinicians like to use a stapler is because it's fast and it's pretty simple. And so some things that you need to remember though with a stapler is that it is going to cause more of a scar. So if there's any cosmetic reason that you want to minimize the scar formation of the laceration as it heals, staples are probably not your best bet. So it wouldn't be wise to use staples on a part of the body that are overly visible, like on the face or the neck or the hands or the arms.
Okay, the stapler is not going to be the best option there. Sutures would be preferred because the scarring is going to be less. Okay, those are the biggest talking points when it comes to stapling versus suturing. Stapling is very, very common in some operating rooms. In neurosurgery, we would occasionally use a stapler to close up a large spinal surgery along the lumbar spine. And then it's pretty common to use a stapler on the scalp as well for scalp lacerations or surgical incisions on the scalp. So those are a few uses, and there's other uses as well. Now, before you go ahead and place the sutures, you want to do, the staples, you want to make sure you've done all of the same wound cleansing and preparation that you would do if you were suturing it. So irrigation, make sure there's adequate hemostasis, that you've explored the wound to make sure there's no foreign bodies retained, and everything that you would normally do before you would suture. Okay, and then you go ahead and place the staples, and aftercare like you would do with sutures, maybe a little bit of bacitracin ointment or some Vaseline, petroleum jelly with a nice sterile bandage over the top. So let me go ahead and demonstrate for you now. So first of all, with the small stapler, I want to point out here, notice that it kind of comes right out the front. If you look closely here, you can see the staple right there in the middle. And if I were to push down here with my thumb, I slide that staple out to the end, and you can see that the tips of the staple start to come out the end. And so you're going to see that I'm going to have to maybe have this completely flush with the patient's skin and give some decently firm pressure as I push down to then have that needle, the staple, bent into place where it should be. So the angle here for the camera is a little difficult, so here in a minute I'm going to spin you around so that you can see from the other angle. But with let's say this is our laceration here, and I want to close this one. Oftentimes, especially if it's gaping a little bit, you want to start in the middle to take some of the pressure off. So you're going to cause, with your fingers, to cause the skin edges to approximate, and I like to make sure that I'm causing a little bit of pressure out here outside of the skin edges so that there's more of an eversion at the skin edges. If I'm too close to the skin edges, it might not cause that little bit of an eversion like we like to see. So, and then I'm going to place that firm on the skin, and then go ahead and place that suture by pushing firmly, the staple by pressing firmly. And as you can see, it has caused the skin edges to be more approximated in that spot. Okay, I'll spin you around here in a minute and demonstrate with the other angle so you can see. But the idea is pretty much the same here with the larger stapler. It's just my angle is going...
You gotta catch that? I stopped it for a minute so y'all can catch up and look at the way that staple look. Yeah, I just stopped it for a minute to get a little feedback. Again, this is called closing a laceration using a skin stapler. Closing a laceration using a skin stapler on YouTube. Step by step. And don't forget McElroy. He had another person, Mr. Webb. He probably got some of those too. But you remember our little kit. You see where our kit comes in handy? It's the purpose of the kit. We don't want to use our sterilized shit to play. We get this shit right here to practice, so when we get the real tools, we know what we're doing. Smart thing to do. For the price, it's worth it. I be looking at you, man. I don't like looking at you like that. You gonna say something? Let's get back to the show.
Going to be flat against the skin this way, and so this is the same stapler we used a lot in the operating room, and I've used the same one in urgent care settings. So I like again like I said, I like this one because it's a little larger, and so I feel like I can get a better grip on it. But I'm going to again cause the skin edges to be pretty well approximated, and then cause some firm pressure as I push down and place the staple. Okay, so you want to make sure both of these have, you can see where the mid So you want to be careful not off too far on one side. From a better angle, and I'll continue to demonstrate and explain a couple things. Alright, so maybe a little better angle here, looking from that side. So as you can see, I'm back to the small stapler here, and again, if you take a look here at the end, you can see that there's a staple visible, and as I push this down, I can see the edges of that staple start to appear at the edge of the stapler. And so not only can I again use my fingers to approximate the skin edges a little bit over the middle of the laceration right at the skin edges, and then cause a little bit of firm pressure as I push and place that staple. It works quite well. Another thing that you can consider, again, I'm going to bring the staple out there to the do this and just place straight. Another way to do it is to kind of grab one side, pull across, and then pinch flat as you then place that staple. So there's a couple of different techniques or ways to do that. Let me go back to the larger stapler and finish this side out, and you can see my angle there. I want to line up that. This one has that nice little arrow to be right in the middle, and so it's pretty well approximated. Notice if I don't
skin stapler. Go back and look at that and get your little kits together too. See, that kit can get you a lot of practice. Use it. Get that. He might have to do a reset. I think he will have to do a reset right quick before it gets choppy and y'all can't hear nothing I'm saying. I'm tired of seeing those videos like that, so we're going to stop it before it get bad. Hold on, guys. You can pull it.
Okay. See what we're doing with now. We back to normal now. Seems like we're back to normal now. Let me see if we're back to normal now. Think we're back to normal now. It's back to normal. She's back to normal. She's back to normal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, it's chopping. I don't have to say a word knowing it's chopping by looking at that meter.
I'm hearing.
Mike, what do you know?
Tony, I'm
It's
hearing
chop- Okay, I'm just saying, man, it's choppy.
No, it's not. I'm listening.
Guys, is y'all hearing me? Let me know. Because I'm not dealing with no choppy shit today.
Hit the button.
What button you talking about? Yeah, guys, we're gonna do some finishing up here, but he's gonna go into a reboot, and I'm gonna try to see if I can get us a backdrop until we get back off this backdrop. You know what I mean? So hopefully, I didn't want to take y'all into the reboot with me sitting on freeze. You know what I'm saying? I don't think I like that either. So I'm gonna see if I can get up something here. And then we can occupy our time and space when we go do this reboot. Because he's gonna have we definitely got a lot in. Definitely got a lot in. It was behaving and reboot, fellas. Back on, everybody back up. Hey fellas, I'm back. You might as well get ready to get the music cut. I'm down. Yeah, man. We're gonna be up there going into phase 2 next. Where we still gotta go back in and do a lot of stuff with the other things That was just to make sure we got the fundamentals. Everything else is going to be a little on the harder end, like the lactate solution. Don't forget, guys, y'all know a connection. Don't be putting it all in the chat room and all that stuff. Please don't do that. Don't do that, because we don't want everybody to know our business, okay? So we get it to them, y'all get it to me, and I get it to them, okay? But don't put it out there on the chat for everybody, because we're still talking about prescription things, okay? And we want to keep it safe for all of us to be able to do what we do. So for those who's fortunate to be able to get their hands on that stuff, send it over to me, and I'll make sure it gets out there to the proper people, you know, as they get in touch. We're not gonna be using no internet shit. Remember that. That's the first rule in the underground. So anybody have any useful information, you know, it's not meant for everybody to know out here, then, you know, guys, take my email. Please use the email. And you can tell me anything on the email. Okay? You can tell me anything you want. And if it comes down to it, you know, you can even call me. I got my phone number. Send me a text message if I don't answer. But I answer all my text messages. I answer all my emails. I answer all my messengers. So I'm inviting everybody into this world, man, so we can go out here and go explore into it together and shit. I mean, I'm probably one of the quietest audiences in the game. Cause I mean, you wouldn't believe, all you guys always send me messages and tell me, man, that y'all just get caught up listening to me. I mean, I would love the, you know, the back and forth thing if I had it, but I understand where y'all be coming from. You know, I've got enough feedback from a lot of you guys that shit, y'all can just come in the room and sit here and watch me preach. That's all y'all, that's what you're telling me, man. Don't worry about that, bro. We trying to hear some shit. You know, and y'all like just sitting back, chilling out and listening, you know. One day we will get the sound picture perfect. I remember, guys, 60 days. There's guys out here with down to 200 videos. And we ain't been at this 60 days yet. So we still ironing it out. We're gonna make the right moves to make it better. We're gonna get 1,000, so it's gonna make that even sweeter, because that gives me the chance to break out and wonder what city I'm coming to next. Type of shit, you know? Historical, book of records, cars are being finished. So you're going to be seeing all this is going into May. A lot happening in May. I'm still looking for my team. I call it my NBA squad. That's what it is. My NBA squad. You know? The new badass is what we call ourselves. New badass Kennels. Why not? NBA squad. I need 10 of them. We're going to do this as an organized unit to go out here and show them how you really prove a point. You call your dogs right. You school them right. You raise them right. You condition them right. Win with them right. And I'm telling you, they be sitting in this chair. And I wouldn't even be here. And they always go back to the fact that, hey, who was his mentor? Me? I'll take it all day. All day. That's like a legacy that should be carried on. I'm going to make some things happen. I know it's going to happen. Because I don't do shit and it don't happen. So I enjoy it, man. And it would not happen without y'all. I enjoy it. So we got maybe 3 more parts to the medical shit. I want you guys to soak in. Please send me the questions. Please send me your questions. Other thing, I had to make a correction out there, guys. I got to make a correction. This is a bulletin on the worming, the stranded tea. If you have any questions, because it's not right, the dosages are not right the way they're on there. So if you send me an email on the stranded tea, I will give you the proper dosage. I had a good one out there that brought something to my attention. He had it right. He had it right, and he was basically asking me. So by the time I done the math, he was the one right. Okay, and he didn't even know he was right. The way he did it was the correct way to do it. And if you don't know the correct way and the right dosage for your weight, please send me an email. I sent a lot of those and I'll get you guys that information to get the proper weight compared to the proper dosage. If you need the email, don't forget where you got to go to get it. Remember, it's always going to be found. It's going to always be found on the Babesia, the medical. You know, the medical video, the one that has the medical and the Babesia in it. It has my phone number and it has my email account. So to you guys to make contact, let's get that right, because I don't want to leave it out there, even for you new listeners and new guys who run across that right there. Hey, get that email and send it to me, and I get you guys the proper chart in for that dosage. Remember, you only do it once, only once. So let that be a correction. What you see on the video is, and there's no way I can fix it. The best way to fix it is to get you the proper information if you guys contact me for it, okay? Today with more about medical, you probably hardly ever see me, you know, as serious as I was today, because this is the biggest part of me right here, taking care of them. You know, this is where you know, you gotta have that extra love and patience to get down into that. You know what I'm saying? If you notice, I was even a little irritable today. You know, one thing I didn't want to deal with today was that chitter chatter shit, because it breaks up the message. And this is not a time for me to be breaking up with the message. I don't want to break up with the message because you're not getting the message when it breaks up. I think we done found out that, you know, what it is, and it's not. I can almost see it coming by watching this little meter over here, this YouTube meter. It seems like it you know, it does certain things, and then you can hear it when it starts that crunching. I know it's going to start missing. I can hear it crunching right now, so I know I got to be skipping, blacking in and out. I know it, because I'm listening to it crunching the whole time. Every time I hear that crunching sound, I know it's not acting right. So before we ruin this good night, I'm going to bring an end to the night. And we're going to start off again on Tuesday. Have any questions, guys, you got to make contact with me. You need that contact. Make contact with me. If you got any questions, is anything that I can do to help you with what you're working with, remember the rules and the things that we talked about earlier. Now, remember, I gave everybody a chance to look. If we had a vote, you know what I'm saying, that smart-ass person, you know, the one that always got something to say, you know, when you got a vote, you got to remember, It wasn't me that did agree that everything was being put out. You had a chance to speak up, you didn't speak up, so don't speak up later. Because now we got abundance of people that will speak up in the behalf of what we all agree on. You know how you always got that clown that has something else to say? Well, that is a subject that we're not going to be entertaining. No, and that's the bottom line. Remember, I told you that shit will not follow us down into the basement. So, let's do the right thing by the way we treat our animals. And we talked about it earlier. They ain't got to talk about it. And I think that's going to make us a better fraternity. Definitely a better fraternity. You know what I mean? And a safer fraternity. So, with that thought coming to mind, can I get some? If you like the show, give me them thumbs up. I need them thumbs up. I need those likes. Those who want to come in and watch the video, please continue hitting your likes, subscribe. I know it's going crazy over there, ain't it? Because I can. But what we're going to do is look at the bottom of the page for the Cash App. Y'all continue doing that support. It's already definitely appreciated. We ain't figured out, you know, because it's going to be up to you guys. Because I told you, my first inclination is as soon as I get a chance to get broke out, I'm going up the coast. I just don't know which way I'm going to go up. I'm going to go up 75, I'm going to go up 95. I'm going to go up whatever way I'm going up there. But I'm going to make stops. I'm going to make stops just to come and see y'all dogs. I don't need to see y'all. I'm going to see you. But let's go visit some yards. That's all. I think it would be very interesting. One of the things I did notice, am I still bringing it back? One of the things I did notice about doing these shows, you want to notice the show that you guys didn't like? I mean, I wouldn't say like, but I still see, you know, it's like in this one zone and just kind of stay there. And it was the show that all y'all pushed for. Remember, all y'all pushed for that. To bring y'all pedigrees on and have a day of showing our pedigrees. Remember that? Remember that video there? That show there. Remember we did all those dogs, right? You know, it was the worst. It's not really saying it was a bad show, but it was one of the shows that, you know, if you were to say, would you do that again? My answer would be no. Because what I think happened, it didn't draw the views that so many other ones get views and things like that. And that one got kind of like stale because it hit big in the beginning, right off the bat. Why? Because everybody wanted to see what everybody had. But guys, when you look at that video and you go through it, you wouldn't tell your boys about it, and you wouldn't try to help any one of the other ones. Yeah, I can see, even with the technical difficulties, we still have done very well to be in the position that we're at. And I don't think I believe that is because I'm being a real 100% dog man about the situation. And it's not hard for me to do. All I'm doing is just giving you me. So, and I think that the one part that we didn't do, remember how everybody was, look, remember I told you it wasn't going to work when didn't nobody want to work with the damn pedigrees, cleaning up the pedigrees. I said that. And I told you what would happen. But that's the weakest thing. That show right there. You know? And it showed me, you know, the little minor things. And the things that you act like you want the most. You know what I'm saying? And when y'all finally got it, it wasn't what you wanted. Even though we showed a lot of dogs, a lot of good dogs. But there was really no main dogs other than now. Even though everything has a historical value to the now, it's just we don't even have no historical value. Very little information about any historical value. We hear about this a little bit over here. We hear about that a little bit over here. But what good are words when you know a lot of us don't carry 2 cents or 2 shits about the word anymore? And yes, things are becoming a lot more private and locked away because you have too many zombies running around. So yeah, you got zombies and you got people who are really trying to protect their own and don't want zombies running around. Zombies are just what they are, zombies. They wander around and all they do is agitate. They can't hurt shit, but they tear up shit and will take you down. So this is why you're getting a lot of, guys that just don't want to be bothered and they're doing things, shutting everybody else out, and the people on the outside are getting mad and jealous. Well, there's no reason to be jealous. There really is no reason to be jealous because y'all have made it, most of the people out here, they have made it this way. Where, who wants to have certain people being ragged after a show? And half the people who sit there and have so much to say don't have shit to put down their goddamn self. So where, those are the ones that stuck on the outside and can't get in. So I can see where y'all can come from with an excuse like being mad, where you had to question what went on inside. Why? Because you got stuck outside. So if you're one of those guys out there that can't get in, and it's because everything is private and they don't want to be bothered with the riffraffs that comes with letting people in, then you're just making it worse with the statements that I hear a lot of y'all making. Because you can't get in. That's the reason why y'all can't get in. Nobody's not. If they ain't telling their business, it ain't no business of yours. So for a lot of you motherfuckers out here that's gonna sit back and do that, that ain't making y'all right. Y'all making it harder. Because now we really don't want to let your ass in. And that's exactly how that historical book of records is gonna be. We are not putting up with that shit. It's gonna be elite and everybody's gonna want to get on the bandwagon, but sightseers will continue being exactly treated like sightseers. This is not made for sightseers. You can buy the magazine, but you can't play with us. You can get your subscription, but that don't make you one of us. If you're not part of that fraternity because you didn't get that ID card. If you ain't got that ID card, then you're not registered with the fraternity. That's all. I'm not going to keep the book away, but the fraternity itself is a whole different unit. So it's going to be a lot of that. A lot of it. And it's going to be a lot of old dog men that ain't going to be wanting to put up with it. Just going to be on the committee. Just decisions. I'm not no dictator. And I'm not going to be the one. It's going to be a majority of the votes in the rules of this old school. The old school and the new school until we start seeing some worthy new schoolers. The old schools are going to step in whether you like it or not because we know where it was a lot quieter. All we had to do was eliminate some of the bullshit that we had back there and we can even make it a little bit more safer. So, it's going to run because we're dogmen. It's going to work because we're dogmen. That's all, just bottom line. There's no failure in when you're a dogman. Y'all wannabes is a little hard. And it's going to be even harder because it's not meant for all y'all. You ain't putting nothing down, then you don't have no business in that deep. That's just bottom line. This is made for players, not. That's it. Players. If you want to play, then you can get in and play. If you ain't trying to play and you just trying to ride around and be the audience, it's gonna be a time and a place for that. But right now, this is gonna be too tight of a tight house that needs only people at the table playing. We don't have a stand for right now. We just have this more, and it's not going to be as private when we're part of the organization of Registered Dog Man. This does what we do, and that's enjoy and entertain the historical book of records. It's acting up, right? So fellas, look, before this thing tear up our little fun part that we had tonight, I know if you can hear me, but let's call it a night, man. And I'll see you guys Tuesday. You know what I mean? Read your notes, do your research, send me your questions. Send me. Meanwhile, until things get greater later, let's make them better today. And one's always the thing I speak of the most. Get them guns up. Get them guns up. I'm just letting you know, them guns up. Always. Damn, man, I can't look at the thing. Always. Scratch the wind. Scratch the wind. And anything you do, remember, y'all got my back. Just back me up, baby. And let me go. Let me go. I'm guaranteeing your money good, y'all. And we can. So always scratch the wind. That's where we get our honor from. We don't need the courtesy, baby. We want the honor. You know what I mean? Go get that bag, bro. Go get that bag. And stay safe. Stay safe. Listen to the music. Music bumping. We don't even know what the music's gonna be bumping down into the parking lot. If we gonna get any parking lot time in today, seems like a short night. You know what I mean? But either way, we still got it though. You know what I'm saying? Yes, sir. Peace out, fellas. That's that. Mike. G1. I was gonna say, where's the damn music? That motherfucker's pinging. Calm tonight.
Okay, let's end it.